grief is a big part of trying to understand nostalgia. Again, my grandfather had a huge impact on me for various reasons. I don't know that I lay them out particularly. I don't think it matters much, but he was of huge importance to me. And when he died, I experienced grief that I couldn't deal with, really. And then thereafter, I discovered that every other grief got compared to that. And so the next huge thing that happened to me with grief was that when my father died, and I was much older, I was in my 40s. And I realized that that this feeling of grief was the same feeling I had at ballets. It was the same feeling I had in every good book I've ever read. It belonged to a lot of things. And it was, in fact, the feeling of what we call nostalgia, this bittersweet longing for what always gets figured as impossible, which is this back to the good old days, which in fact are usually the terrible old days, but we're nostalgic for them anyway. And so grief became a point of access for me to understand, really, that feelings are never false. They simply are true. When one is upset, one is upset. When one is angry, one is angry. When one is filled with grief, one is filled with grief. But they don't know anything. And that grief can't tell the difference between a fox that I ran over in a truck and the death of my father. It's all the same. And I kind of, this becomes important to me because the nature of nostalgia actually is quite fundamental to our way to be, which is this, what we're looking for in many ways is we want to be at home. And nostalgia, which is a Greek words that mean pain for home, or pain of home, depending on how you want to look at it, always in the run-of-the-mill, in the everyday kind of existence that we have, we tend to take sight of this particular feeling as wanting to be at my home, which I can't get to. And so we get all these passages about man wandering in a homeless state. It is true that the word uncanny and the German word unheimlich, which means unhomely in a certain way, they're translations of one another. But this kind of nostalgia really covers up a much stronger thing that's not even quite a feeling in a way, but it's this desire or wanting to be at home everywhere. And this is available. It's just not an experience that I can have in myself. I only have it in dissolving into my environment and into my activities, for which there seems to be no witness. And so these kinds of experiences are very difficult to talk about. So we get at them from the side and from underneath, and we look for symptoms. We pretend we're detectives, and we say, what is this nostalgia? But the organization for the book comes up out of other kinds of experience, and then it gets found in this detective novel that we've got here.